Hi folks, my name is Allie D'Andrea. Welcome back to another episode of Source to Smoke. Today I am making root beer venison jerky on my Oklahoma Joe's Tahoma grill. Let's jump right into it. So to get started, I'm going to mix up 2 cups of root beer, 1 tablespoon of dark brown sugar, 1 tablespoon Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of freshly ground black pepper, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and half of a teaspoon of cayenne powder. Give this a good stir so that it's well combined, and then crank up the heat to a medium-high heat. We want to bring this to a boil and then immediately reduce it to a simmer. Allow that to simmer for 25 minutes. The mixture will reduce by about half. So we added in roughly 2 cups of liquid. By the time this is ready, it will be down to around 1 cup of liquid. Now, while this is cooking on the stove, I am going to prep our venison. The cut of venison that I'm using tonight is called the top round. It comes from the hind quarter of the deer. A couple other cuts that would be good to use are the eye of round or the bottom round. Top round is just what I happen to pull out tonight. It's actually one of the more tender cuts of meat that comes from the hind quarter, so this is going to turn out really great. First thing that you need to do is remove any silver skin or fat that is remaining on the meat. Then we're going to cut it into thin little strips. So first you need to identify the grain of the meat and cut perpendicular to it. We are cutting against the grain in about 1 to 2 inch chunks. I'm flipping that on its side and then slicing as thin or thick as you like. I like my jerky a little on the thinner side, so I'm trying to slice these pretty thin, but the most important thing is that you're cutting your meat as evenly as possible. You want every single strip that you cut to be the same size. That way it cooks evenly on our grill. You'll notice that the grains are running vertical in this strip that I'm holding. That's exactly what you want to see. So when I go to take a bite, these strips will tear apart in a more natural way. So I'm not biting into the jerky and pulling off a super long muscle strand. So if your strips are looking like this, you know that you're doing it right. So the marinade's cooled down. Now we're going to add our strips all into a big bag, mix it up real good, like massage it with your hands to make sure that every strip of meat is evenly coated. Then we'll throw all of that in the refrigerator overnight, and I will see you guys tomorrow for some smoking. All right, it is the next day. The meat has been marinating in the refrigerator for about 24 hours, and now it is time to get it on the grill. I'm so pumped for this. This will be my very first time cooking on the all-new Oklahoma Joe's Tahoma grill. Check this out. This bad boy is an auto feed charcoal grill. I set it up yesterday, plugged it in, went through the burn off cycle, so it is rearing to go. So let's plug her in. To get this going, I'm going to turn it on, but not set the temperature yet. I'm going to open the lid and open up the hopper to load this up with my charcoal. I'll also open up the ash pan and clean this out from yesterday's burn off. I'm going to start by filling up this hopper with some charcoal briquettes and then add a mixture of more briquettes and some wood chunks. Today I'm using apple wood chunks. And then come down here to the ash pan. I've already cleaned the ash out from my burn off yesterday, and I'm adding 2 fire starters right here. I'll light them with a lighter, close this ash pan, lock it up, and then set my temperature. So 225 is the lowest that it will go, so I have it set. I press set. So now this will toggle between the set temperature, which is 225, and the actual temperature, which is 96. This thing has been cooking a little bit in the sun. As soon as we start seeing smoke in the chamber, we're gonna close that lid down, and we're good to go and let this preheat. I just pulled the meat out of the refrigerator. First thing to do is rinse it with some cold water, lay it out on a sheet, making sure that nothing is touching, everything has lots of room, and then you'll just pat everything dry with a paper towel. The reason why we're rinsing the marinade off is because it will take longer to cook. All of that liquid will need to evaporate off, so it just increases your cooking time. smells so good. I'm putting the meat on the highest racks in the grill. The grill is set to 225, but the lower and slower and longer that I can smoke this jerky, the better. So keeping it just a little bit away from that heat source is going to cook the jerky a little more gently. All right, it's been about an hour. We are still holding strong at 225. Let's take a look. Oh man, they're cooking down great. Wow, okay, let me pull these out and give them a flip. They have a beautiful color. They probably only need another 30 minutes or so, but I want to flip them all to make sure that they're cooking nice and even. Wow, look at that. They look great. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark. Let's take a look and see. Oh boy, that's some beautiful color. They're still a little soft in the center, which is exactly how I want it. I don't want it to be so hard that when you bite in, it like crunches apart. So I'm gonna say these are done. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pull these out, and the meat is going directly into a plastic bag. And what this is going to do is create a little bit of steam. Since all of these pieces are coming right from the grill, they're still warm, they're still hot. They'll be putting off a little bit of heat, a little bit of steam in the bag, and it's going to help reduce that kind of like dry, brittly effect that you can have on jerky sometimes. Yeah, they're already looking good. We'll let them cool down in this bag, and then we'll give it a taste test. The time has come. We are ready to try this jerky. I'm so excited. So let me show you how the jerky has started to rehydrate itself just by keeping it in this plastic bag. You can see how it has more of a shiny kind of finish to it now instead of looking so dry. You know that the jerky's ready when it starts to crack along the edges and is a little bit translucent. Like when you hold that up to the light, you can start to see through it a little bit, you know what I mean? Beautiful. Watch the way that this peels apart when I bite this. That's exactly why we spent time cutting the jerky the way that we did, so that you have a more pleasant eating experience as you bite the jerky off. Jerky is so much fun because you can serve it to your family and your friends. It's really easy to share. This jerky will stay good for about 2 or 3 weeks in the refrigerator, if it even lasts that long. It's definitely addicting. Once you start eating it, you don't want to stop. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions of things that you would like to see in future Source to Smoke videos, leave them in the comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one.